But once you activate them during a war, you can always cancel them later on if your war exhaustion is getting too high. Yeah. So that's so that's basically all the economy part of this tab. Technology now. Technology is basically, it's everything part of this. It's like we have government, production, trade, naval, land, stability. Stability is a bit different. Government, and we can see up here how much we're spending on it depending on this slider. So if I'm spending all of my, you see 23.6, if I'm spending all my 23.6, I can spend it all on government, or I can distribute it between all of them. But all of these come up to the cost of 23.6, as we can see for monthly investment. So increasing government is usually a good idea. Why? Because if we hover over this, we can see what's coming up next. These are, by the way, the levels. So right now we have level 3 on everything. If you remember, going back to technology map mode, we can see here. So everyone's technology level 3, while the Middle East and the rest of the world, except for like the rest of the old world, so South Asia, East Asia, they're all at technology 5. So we're a bit behind. But as you can see up here, we have research efficiency of 100%, while the Moroccans, for example, they only have I can't remember exactly, but they have a lower research efficiency than us. They cannot produce research as fast as we can, and this depends on which type of technology group you're part of. So we're part of the Western technology group. I believe maybe if we click here, no, we can't see what they're part of. But I know the Ottomans have their own technology group, so they'll have their own units, their own efficiency. There's also an Eastern technology group, which is, I think, reduces it to 80%. So, for example, Muscovy, Novgorod, these guys will tech slower than the rest of Western Europe. So it really depends. And at the end of the game, you can Westernize and actually catch up to research efficiency 100%. But for now, until like pretty much the end of the game, we're locked at you're locked at what you have set at the beginning of the game. And for us, it's 100%, which is the best. Now let's look here. Right now we're at level 3 on everything. If you hover over it, we can see why it's increasing. So our current ruler is increasing our government tech by +6. If you remember, that's because of his administration. His administration increases government tech investment by 6, as well as production, as well as trade. If you want to increase military, naval, and land, then you have to have a higher military rating. So we can see that government is currently, technology is 1 year ahead of its time, so it's more difficult to reach. This won't happen. I mean, in fact, it'll adjust itself. But once you get too far ahead, then it'll be more expensive. It'll be harder to research the next technology. But I believe if you're far behind, you'll get a small boost. But that's only if you're very far behind. But that's because that's part of the game. Then we can see what the next level is. So the next level, level 4, will give us another idea, and then we can build a church. Level 5, there's nothing. And then level 6, there's another effect. So we can build an embassy. Level 7, there's nothing, no effect. And then level 8 can now build courthouse. So basically, as technology gets better, we'll have more opportunities available for us. So that's government. Production. Production talks about basically your workshops, production efficiency. If you remember correctly, I was talking over here. See, right now we're not getting 100% efficiency from our production. In fact, our production efficiency is only 26%. So that's what it means up here, 26%. Our production efficiency is only 26%. But over time, as our production technology gets better, at each level, it'll increase by 1%. And then at level 8, 13, 14, it'll make new buildings available for us. Trade is the same thing, except it'll increase. So for next level, it'll increase our trade range. I'll talk about trade range later. Trade efficiency will increase by 1%. How much money we get from our trade, and then we can build a new trade building marketplace. I'm gonna just drink some water. And then we can see level 8, 12, 14. We can build new buildings. Then we have naval. Naval, as you might imagine, this is just all your naval technologies and the naval buildings as well. And this also increases our max colonial range. If you remember up here, I was talking about colonial range. So the red is the area we cannot colonize, while the green is the area we can colonize. So this will increase that range. Obviously, we cannot colonize into Europe, but once we've discovered more of Terra Incognita, we can go farther and send our colonists farther. That's basically what it means. So colonial range is how far you can send your colonists. Max colonial range will increase, and then different buildings for that. Land, very similar to naval. It allows you to build the next available land research, and you can upgrade your land units. Same for naval, by the way. At higher rates of naval, you can get better ships. So at higher rates of naval, you can get better units. And also, the way your units look will get better, will look nicer. Actually, this also depends on the sprite packs you have. So if you have all the sprite packs, you'll see more variation in soldiers. I have all of them, but I mean, depends if you have them or not. Yeah, so all of these really depend on kind of customizing your nation. If I'm playing as, for example, Muscovy, I'm going to set my naval all the way down to 0 because I'm landlocked and I'm not likely to get anywhere close to the sea for a very long time. So it's really not worth my time investing any money into naval. But Castile is one of those countries where you have a bit of everything. So it's important to kind of have it balanced. So there's actually two methods of setting these, at least that I've heard of. You can kind of balance them all and kind of just wait for each one of them to come up. As you can see, there's like a green bar. So once the green bar fills up to the top, that's when it reaches the next one. So if we hover over it, we can see also when it'll be finished. So our government tech at this current rating, at this current funding of 3.8, we can see the 3.8 up there, government. It'll finish on May 14, 15. That's a very long time, but if we increase it, like for example up to 22, it'll now be finished September 1406. So that's one method, just making them all equal. Another one that I've seen done, and this really all depends on you guys, seriously, is just maximizing it. So I would lock it. Remember, you can lock by right-clicking, lock them all at 0, and then you just concentrate on one research until it's finished. Both methods have merits. Personally, I like kind of the more natural procession of just having them all kind of equal to each other. Some of them I'll emphasize more than others. I want to get a national idea. So this is a tip, by the way, not game rule, but you should usually have government set higher for the beginning of the game so you can get that national idea, which I'll talk about later. So yeah, so for now I'm going to have this very high. Land also I'm going to be very high. I want to be able to keep up with military technology. Production is next. Yeah, I'll put that around there. And naval is actually very important for Spain. Not as much now, I would say, but it will become very important. And also, I want to get to the New World fast. So I'm going to have 1.1, I think. So set it to 1.5. You can also click here for more accurate. Whoa. Set this up to 12. This will be done. Actually, I'm going to increase even. 17.5 sounds good. Yeah, so I'm going to set it like this. So government's going to be done on December 1407. Down here you have stability. Stability increases by, as the game would say, spending money on it through investments. Here also we can see like the different like our current ruler and our control cardinals help us put more money into stability. So right now we're at +1. +1 is a comfortable place to be at, but I'm just going to keep it kind of loose like this, and it'll go up over time. If you're in the negatives though, and especially if you're at -3, which is the worst, you're going to want to like increase this dramatically. But for now I'll just leave it like this, loosey-goosey. +1 is fine. Yeah, so hold on, let me just rearrange this. Yeah. Oh. Okay, I'm going to set it like that, roughly. Usually what I like to do then, I like to lock them. Actually, it really depends. But over time, they'll increase, decrease. I guess I could leave them normally, because I want all of them to increase. But if, for example, if I'm playing as Muscovy, I would pull naval all the way back, and I would lock it, because I don't care about my navy at all. So, yeah. Right here, you see kind of like this lightning arrow. Usually, you should never use this unless you have tons and tons of money. This is basically, you get 200 points. If you spend 200 gold for 100 invested. If we hover over, if you see below the date it'll be completed, we can see 216 out of 3046. So if I spent 200 now, I'd get 316 out of 3046. It's really not efficient, but I suppose if you have tons of money and you want to catch up in a certain tech, you could use this. I've never really used this before. Actually, I used it once when I was westernizing as the Ottomans to catch up in land when I had a lot of money, but usually you should never ever use that. It's just good to have, I suppose. Yeah, so you can see how close you're done by not only the bar, as it fills up with green, by the date, and also by the points you have, the amount. For those of you that are familiar with Victoria 2, this is pretty much exactly like how technology works there. Yeah, someone actually made a very good point. They said it's good for stability if you're rich. Yeah, it makes more sense to use this for stability because stability is so important to make sure that you have at least positive. So in that case, you could use it. But again, this is only once you have a lot of money and not for the beginning of the game, like where we're at. Thanks for that. Yeah, so that's technology. Do I have any questions? I'll give you guys. I just talked a lot, and the reason I talked a lot is because this is the, I would say, one of the most important screens. Just because, I mean, this can really make or break your game. So yeah, so do I have any questions from the 21 people watching? No? No questions? Everyone's good? Okay. Hold on, I'm just gonna take a bit of a break, just for a minute, just drink some water. Okay. So that's your economy, and that's your technology. Let's move on to now. Everything past this is going to be affected by what we have here, pretty much. So here is military. So as we can see up here, we're Western unit tech, which depends on our technology. So because we're Western technology, we have Western unit tech. So everyone in Western unit tech has the same units, while I think it's called like Asian or Russian unit tech, they'll have their own units. North African, East Asian, South Asian, they all have their different unit techs. and they can all produce the same units within that tech and within that unit tech group. Currently, I only have, so here you can see infantry